All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to You Like That Extra, a midweek review show of movies. My name's Jack. I'm one half of You Like That Extra.
My name's Adam. I'm the other half. You like that
I
extra?
haven't got like an intro down yet, like a formula. I don't have a cool tagline for this show
Yeah, that's maybe that's the tagline.
that I don't have one.
Still don't have a tagline.
Or just a review show of movies. Just
review
cast
show
the
of
net
movies.
as fucking wide as I possibly can.
It's all right. You don't have that many left.
Yeah, that's true. The movie that got snagged in the net this week was a movie very near and dear to my heart. It's from my favorite franchise of all time. This is A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, the Dream Master. This is from 1988. Did you introduce yourself? You did, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, good. Fucking hell. My memory.
We then spoke about you not having a tagline.
Yeah, okay, good. Thanks for the recap. Appreciate it. This movie, if you saw the main show on Sunday, I started to have a cold, and I'm now in the deep, passionate throes of that cold.
Yeah, that throat is closing up.
It's really doing quite a number on my entire being. This movie is directed by a man named Reddy Harlan. He's a scary fucking Norwegian bloke or something. No, Finnish, I think he is. He's Finnish. And the way he got this movie was he went to New Line Cinema every single day and said, "Can I do a Nightmare on Elm Street 4?" He did that for a few months.
There you go.
And eventually Rob Shea was just like, "Oh, fucking fine, all right."
Follow your dreams, kids.
Wes Craven doesn't want to do it. Fine, just give it to this weird Finnish bloke.
Fair.
Rennie Harlan is a name you probably won't know. He did Die Hard 2. He did Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone, which is like a rock climbing movie. I think Sylvester Stallone's like a rock climbing cop.
Oh,
and he stops a rock climbing.
Of course, has to be a cop as well.
Yeah, because in the movies, like everything needed a movie.
Mm.
And he also directed some episodes of like season 4 of Burn Notice, like just sprinkled in there.
Yeah, but a TV show's really ever directed.
Not really, no. It's very committee based, and yeah, you just kind of turn up.
Yeah, the directors are just there to be like, all right, action.
This movie stars Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. Obviously, no one else of note, really. Like even just
nah,
you don't even recognize a face in this. It's crazy. This had a budget of $13 million, which is the most expensive of the franchise, up until Freddy vs. Jason, and then it had a box office of $49.9 million, which is the highest of the franchise up until Freddy vs. Jason. Freddy vs. Jason came at a very important time in movies when people were spending a lot of money on movies.
Yeah.
The critics had this one at 52%, the audience at 43%. But this is generally considered the best in the franchise. But, there's two buts. So it's generally considered the best one, but everyone's favourite is the third one, The Dream Warriors. Every single person in horror communities just say the third one's the best one. I don't, I say this is the best one. And fuck you, I'm the authority on it. Plot: a year after the events of Nightmare 3, in which Freddy Krueger was killed by Nancy Thompson using holy water, the power of friendship, because it was the 80s, and his own hand, he's resurrected by a hellhound pissing fire on him to exact his revenge on the remaining Dream Warriors, and they just get killed off in the first 10 minutes. And they're like, we're just doing a Nightmare on Elm Street 1 again. Back to full strength, Freddy seeks a new group of teenagers for his prey and terrorizes them via their dreams, as he is wont to do. It's a Nightmare on Elm Street 1 again. It's the exact Nightmare on Elm Street formula, because it works. And whenever they stray from it, like with the Dream Child, it's just a horrific, embarrassing mess. Anyway, Adam, A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. What do you think of A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master? It's not good, is it?
Not that good, is it?
But it also is.
Isn't it, mate? No, well, okay. So, I got to give you the forewarning that I have not indulged in the full Nightmare franchise. I've seen the first one. Mm-hmm. I've seen Freddy vs. Jason.
First one's very good. Freddy vs. Jason's very good.
And I've seen the reboot.
Reboot is one of the worst things ever committed.
Yes, it is.
Yep. Movies that movie is one of very few movies I just didn't finish, that I just gave up on.
Honestly, didn't miss anything.
Yep.
Did not miss a thing. So yeah, like I've seen the first one twice, and I really love the first one. It's a really great film. I really like how everything's done in that film. Jumping into the fourth into the franchise, and obviously I'm taking a big gap and not knowing what the fuck has happened since.
Yeah.
I just was so fucking bored.
Yes, it's
the movie just felt so cut.
yeah, it's very of its era, and the way it's put together is insanely weird.
Yeah,
Like, it's really weirdly
like everything just sort of happens like in a scene, and there's no like direct like sequence to move from one to the next. It's just like this happens, and now this happens, and now this happens, but it's like it just doesn't feel like a movie.
No, and it's because there's no characters. Like,
Yeah.
the characters just are awful, and they're just cannon fodder, and they're, especially in this one, they're not memorable at all. They don't have a Nancy Thompson.
Yeah, I like when I was watching it, I got to like the last 20 minutes, and I was like, oh, I get what's going on in this movie.
Yeah.
Because like, everything before, I'm just like, I don't even know what the fuck this is about.
Because the whole, like, so two big plot points of this movie is the girl from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, who was recast. She was originally Patricia Arquette from Medium. She was recast for number 4. She had the power to
pull other people
into dreams. Yeah, like with a bat signal, but against their will, she could just pull them.
Yeah.
Which is passed off to the main character in this movie without explaining it.
Yeah.
She just absorbs it.
Yeah, just takes it.
Yeah, and then the next one is Freddy uses souls of the kids he kills to, like, power up, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's not explained either. It's shown a lot. It's shown a lot, but it's never explained. The problem with the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise is it was never meant to be a franchise. That first one is just lightning in a bottle. Perfect.
Yeah, like everything about that, because like that flowed really well, and like it looked great for being such early in the 80s.
Yeah.
And
it's so cheap, like, just done on the fly.
Cheap, but it looked amazing because it was so practical.
Yeah.
Like,
And they only made it in like 13 weeks or something. They chucked it together, and it's pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
And Wes Craven was just like, yep, I love it. I love this. That's it. I'm going to go do other stuff. Then Rob Shea, the head of New Line Cinema, was like, all right, I own you. I own this character. We're going to drag it out and fuck it up. And like, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is very good, but it just misses the point completely. And it tries to be a horror movie, like a horror movie. And it just doesn't work. It's not very good.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Of course.
Yeah. And then Dream Warriors is just weird and very character driven and very fantasy driven. And it's almost like a kid's movie, but it's a horrific Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this one is just kind of retreading the first movie, and then the next two are just weird, very strange movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one is iconic in its imagery a lot for the kills. Like this is the one with the most memorable kills, even over the first one. The first one is better, but in terms of memorability, I think this one is the most standout one, most likely for the cockroach kill.
Yeah,
maybe this is just in the little horror community. I don't know. Like, I'm saying this as if it's like very common movie knowledge, but maybe it's only 80s horror.
Yeah, maybe for those like that are in that era. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I remember the cockroach one very vividly because I was like, "What the actual fuck is happening right now?"
Fucking disgusting.
I'm like, this looks amazing, but I still don't fucking get it and why it's happening.
Because at the beginning of the movie, she squashed a cockroach. Remember? It all comes back. All right. And one of the characters says, there's no life. No, you have a life after exercise or something. But it's funny because she doesn't. Because she exercises and gets murdered. Turned into a cockroach and then squished. But yeah, her arms like bending backwards and inside out and sprouting things.
Yeah.
It's just like, obviously they had a bigger budget, more time on this one, so they could really dedicate a lot to the practicality.
Yeah.
And you've got the pizza with the faces on it, and the soul meatballs.
Yeah. Yeah, we
absolutely disgusting as well.
They first opened the pizza, and I was just like, it looks like a nice pizza. Brooke was like, oh wow, good looking pizza. And then he like zoomed in on the faces of the souls. I'm just like, ooh, not good no more.
Can't imagine a pizza with big chunky meatballs on it though. Seems like it'd be annoying to eat. America is just screaming at us right now. How could you say that?
Sorry, but your pizza, what you guys have over there isn't fucking pizza. Honestly, it's not. It's just fucking bread with sauce.
Yeah.
The meatballs would be definitely disproportionate to the whole pizza, and you just feel like you'd be taming yourself to have one massive bite every time. Because like you wouldn't want to have a bite if it didn't have a meatball with it.
You don't typically bite half a meatball either.
Yeah.
You can't just cram it in.
That's really weird.
Yeah, it's a very strange
Can't
thing.
do it.
But what you were saying,
Yeah.
this movie making no sense and having no plot threads, I don't disagree with at all. Like, watching it just now, I was just like, oh yeah, I can see where the 80s is really ringing through this, and not the good 80s.
Yeah.
There's the embarrassing karate stuff.
Yeah.
Like
that happened, didn't it?
The invisible karate kill is one of the most embarrassing sequences to sit through in a movie. It's like the actor's not good and the way it's shot is not good, and then he just gets stabbed in the stomach with a rogue glove. But like, it's the 80s.
I know,
Whatever.
but it's also the fourth into the franchise.
Yes, but fourth into a franchise that had very little creative control.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
it had one producer who was like, "Hey, this can be a cash cow. I want to keep doing stuff with it, but I don't have any ideas." So
Yeah, it's just such a different time.
it was very
Such a different era. So much different shit going on.
Yeah.
But, I mean, hey, you look at the Nightmare franchise and it's not like it ruined it or anything.
No, of course not. The next one did, because they went into Freddy's backstory of when he was a baby, and there's like little baby Freddy.
I did look into like a quick plot summary from all the other Nightmares that I hadn't seen. I was reading it, I'm like, I thought this movie didn't make sense. These are not making any sense.
And then the last one is just basically a full-on comedy, like in terms of Freddy being quippy. When people think of Freddy, they think of the funny quips and stuff. And like this one toes the line because he tells jokes and stuff, but it's still in like a menacing demon voice, and there's like eerie music and stuff around. So when he makes a joke, you're just like, oh, okay. What are they going for here? Is that meant to be scary or is it meant to be funny?
Yeah. So where does Wes Craven's New Nightmare fit into the whole franchise?
Wes Craven's New Nightmare is incredibly meta. It's one of the best ones, actually.
Yeah, because when I read the plot summary, I'm just like, this seems really fucking interesting.
Genuinely very good.
As a story, it seems fucking amazing.
Yeah, so it's, Wes Craven, Heather Langenkamp, and Robert Englund. They're all mates in real life.
Yeah.
And, they're talking about making another Nightmare movie, but Heather Langenkamp's like, no, it's in my past. It's very meta, very real life. And then it turns out Robert Englund just is Freddy. Yeah. Like, for real, actually. But the Freddy in that looks incredible. Like they completely
I saw that was
him.
a good redo.
I really think you should watch that. And it doesn't,
I'm very excited to watch that.
It doesn't lean on anything else because Wes Craven came back and did it.
Yeah.
So he was just like, okay, if I was going to do a sequel back in 1980, whatever, here's what I would have done.
Yeah.
And it would have made this weird, funny meta movie. And it's fucking great. You should really watch that. But yes, it does ignore all the weird, bad stuff in between.
Yeah, it's just the one thing. I see the posters for like the third, fourth, and fifth, and it's like, even just the titles, like having the word dream in the movie so many times. Yeah. I'm like, I feel like I'm stepping into the realm of a fantasy RPG.
Yeah. And then, the last one's like Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, and then 3 years later, Wes Craven's New Nightmare came out.
Yeah. That's
Like,
never the final.
No one's ever dead. And even in this one, it's not explained how he comes back. They're just like, dog piss fire.
Yeah, because that kicked into it, and obviously I'm just like, I don't know that he died in the last one, and then this one is just like, a dog goes rogue, and then he pisses fire, and I'm like, that's whack.
That's weird.
And then all these bones start forming, which looks cool. It's a nice little reverse
It's a very
melt.
very nice.
And I'm just like, okay.
We've spoken about that effect a lot of times on this show, because it's a very easy effect to do, just melting something and reversing it.
Exactly, especially in that time.
But yeah, it looks great. And then he's in shadow for some of it, and then there'll be like, there's that great shot. He comes around the corner, and it's just like his eyes lit up, and you see a bit of his hat. It just looks fucking great. Like, there's a lot of good direction in this, even though Rennie Harlan is just this insane Finnish bloke. It was like in one of his first movies. It was his first American movie.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good shots. There's a lot of like, he really had a crack, and you can tell he went on to do Die Hard 2 immediately after this, because like the movie theater scene is like so overblown, and like there's big fucking fans and stuff, and stuntmen hanging from wires and stuff, so you can see the threads of action there. And obviously Die Hard 2 was meant to launchpad him, Rennie Harlan, to do other stuff, and he just didn't, because Die Hard 2 is not very good either. But I recognize this isn't great, but I love it.
It's fair. It's in your realm of the older horror genre and
yeah.
such. So it's like it has its fan base, as everything does.
Yeah, and it has its charm. Like when he sucks that girl's soul out, and then it's just like a Dollar Tree, like Halloween costume of the body, and he just throws it away. And they try to like get around it, but it's just like very clearly. And it's so nice. But yeah, the reason I like this one so much is I've told this story a billion times. I was having trouble sleeping once when I was a child, and whatever. TV was my comfort, so I went and turned on the TV, and this movie was on, and that scene in the exam scene where she sucks him, no, the other way around, he sucks her. That was on TV at the time.
Yeah,
and it just like. It was the first time I was just like, holy fuck, this is what terror feels like.
Yeah, holy shit,
this is
I
what
need to go to sleep.
Traumatizing terror feels like. And it's one of those things where I was like, was I dreaming when I was a kid? And I just imagined this, but no, I obviously saw it and it sowed the seeds for 18 years later or whatever when I was in love with Nightmare on Elm Street and horror movies and stuff. So yeah, it just holds a very special place in my heart.
Which it has to, man. You got to have those movies.
Yeah. Obviously, objectively, the first one's the best one.
Oh, yeah. Without
I think this is the one I would reach for. If we're doing a movie night or whatever, I would reach for this one because it's like stupid as hell and cringy and like it's got every single 80s horror movie beat. It's like high school, jock, nerd, art guy, titties. It's just got everything.
There's some good titties in this film.
Yeah, those underwater titties.
Give it that. Good titties in this film.
And even that is like the second kill in this is very similar to the way Johnny Depp dies in the first one. It's a waterbed, gets sucked in the water.
Yeah.
Right? So you're like, are they trying to remake the first one? Maybe. And start it again. Like, soft reboots weren't a thing back then, but you think it's going to be a soft reboot, and then it's just like, oh no, they just don't have any original ideas. And then, just beat for beat, 80s horror movie, they all get picked off. The main girl doesn't have much to do, but then, of course, Freddy dies at the end of every Nightmare on Elm Street through the power,
which looks cool.
Through the power of something, right? In the third one, it was friendship. In this one, it's whatever. She's like shy in the beginning, and then she's confident in kung fu, and then it's just like revealed. Sort of, you have to figure it out yourself, that she's also been taking on her friends' souls, and so she's good at kung fu like her brother. She's got the tech thing like the nerdy girl.
Yeah, it's very fucking whack, isn't it?
And it's vague as fuck. Like I'm explaining it as well as the movie explains it.
Actually, more than
And then there's the final confrontation is in like a church-ish sort of scene, and there's some of the funniest bad fight choreography you've ever seen, and like terrible Hanna-Barbera punch sound effects and stuff.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
And then there's no stakes obviously because you know where it's going, but like she blasts a big hole in him and he's just fine. And it's a great prosthetic. You see his heart like kicking away and stuff. And then there's that beautiful composited thing where it comes back, like it's like the visual effect just in front of him, and it's not. These movies weren't made for Blu-ray, so when you put them on a Blu-ray, you see all their flaws and inconsistencies.
Great detail.
Yeah, like quality of VHS and stuff back then. It didn't matter. You didn't have to really give it a crack. And then the souls, as like Freddy screams at one point, and the camera goes down his body, and you see all the souls and the arms and stuff reaching out. That looks fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, by all accounts, was one of the worst things to shoot for those actors because they actually had to be, like, gooed up and, like, pushing through this synthetic goo and stuff.
Would not be great.
And, like, they all reach out and pin Freddy down. It's a very grisly death for Freddy.
It's really cool, though. It does look cool.
There's not gallons of blood or anything because I guess Freddy doesn't have blood. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a very bloodless man.
His head explodes and there's still, like, a bit of his head left and there's, like, some soul sticking out and stuff, and he just stumbles around and then disappears into a ball of light because that's how he dies in all of them.
Yep, once again.
And Freddy's dead through the power of all your other friends dying.
Yeah.
I guess. That's kind of grim.
Yeah.
A
lot of people die in these movies, man.
I would rather just not have powers if it meant all my friends didn't die.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd rather that. But Shy Girl gets the jock guy in the end.
And that's all that matters, isn't it?
That's all that matters, baby. Because in the 80s, that's how you had to end a movie. Either the jock guy gets the shy girl, or the shy girl gets the jock guy. It's the same outcome, but however the story is told is
exactly. And if the story is told at all,
which is not, it's just vessel for each kill, and that's it.
It is what it is.
But it is a very important movie in my journey to enjoying movies at all, enjoying horror, being the Nightmare on Elm Street guy. This movie is why I'm the Nightmare on Elm Street guy.
It's always fair. But as I was saying, you got to have your random horror movies that for some reason you find an affiliation for.
You look past.
Like it's me with the Feast franchise. Mm-hmm. I don't know one other person in the world that has seen Feast.
I've still never seen them. I walk past them every day downstairs, but I still haven't watched them yet.
The first one, I'd understand if people watch it, but if somehow people manage to find the second and third one, God bless your hearts. we're 1 in a million us here.
And I'm like that. Like whenever I say I like a Nightmare on Elm Street, and that someone will bring up like the Power Glove scene from the last movie, because there was like a tie-in with the Nintendo Power Glove. Remember the?
Yeah.
They did like a brand deal with that, and he kills someone with a Power Glove and an Atari stick, and it just makes no sense at all. And it's just like, okay, that's not what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, like the cockroach stuff, the really grisly, wisecracking Freddy stuff.
Yeah, the extended arms reaching out.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking cool shit.
Yeah, movies being made for $3.
Yeah.
And just doing whatever you can.
And then being sold for $3.
And then being sold for $3 and taken away from the original artist.
Yep, basically.
And bastardized into an 8-movie franchise. Freddy vs. Jason is... I think I haven't watched it in a long time, but I think it's actually good. I think it holds up in terms of because I think it knows what the tone is.
Because you just have to look at it. It's Godzilla vs Kong. It's two separate massive entities coming together and fighting. That's all it is. Like it doesn't need a plot.
No,
you just go. Here's you. Here's how you come back. And just fight.
Yeah. And this one,
and put a really mad metal soundtrack behind it.
Exactly. And because this one is just Freddy, it needs rules. It needs a plot. But it's just lacking pretty severely in that department. But yeah, I love it. That's a Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Yeah, it is what it is.
You liked it extra for this week.
Yep.
The Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. I don't think it's available anywhere.
It is available on Stan.
Hey,
all the nightmares are on Stan.
Beautiful. Sick. Where are we, Adam? We're on social media somewhere.
We're on social media. If you go down to our link tree in our description, you'll find us everywhere that we are available, which is literally everywhere. Where you can't avoid us.
Yeah, if you name it, we're there.
We also do a main show.
We do a main show. It's on the same channel.
Same place.
You don't have to go anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
It's right here.
Yep.
In fact, it's probably in the suggested video right down there below, so you might as well just click it and keep watching.
Exactly right. Last week we did Edgar Wright's latest hit, Last Night in Soho.
This week we're atoning for my previous worst movie of all time. We're doing the sequel to it. I said I wasn't going to watch it, but then Halloween Kills was so bad, I was like, I'll fucking watch it. I'll watch anything as long as it's not Halloween Kills again.
Venom 2,
it's Venom
baby!
2. It's here. It's already out on digital and it's still not out in cinemas in Australia.
Yep. Literally in 2 weeks' time, it will be available on Blu-ray.
One of the weird instances where, digital overtook the cinema release.
For whatever reason.
At least in Australia.
I don't know why Australia's got delayed so far back.
Yeah. But it happened, but we have our ways. We'll fucking see.
It's all right. It's coming out. We're getting it. We're watching it. We're reviewing it.
But yeah, that'll be here on this channel. And if you press subscribe, it'll come right to your subscription box. You won't have to do anything else. You can click the bell. That gives you a notification.
Yeah.
That'll be very handy. And you can watch it straight away and be in on all the jokes before we start making them on social media. Mm-hmm. Until then, that comes out on Sundays on audio and video on Tuesdays. You like that extra? This show comes out every Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And we do votes for the themes and stuff. Oh, mate, there's so much interaction. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us everywhere. And until all of that happens...
which is better.
I think that's all we have to say. Yeah. Until all of that happens...
Jack's also leaving the show.
I'm also quitting. I have already quit.
Yeah.
Until January, my name is Jack. I am one half of You Like That Extra.
And my name is Adam, and I will... soon be the only half, one whole of the You Like That Extra podcast. But right now, I'm still just a half of You Like That Extra.
My name is Adam, and I am one full of the You Like That Extra.
See you next week, guys.
I will see you. Bye.